We sent 4 more of the Robot Masters right back to the scrap pile from whence they came. Now all that's left is Dr. Wily's castle, Dr. Wily, and everything in between. It's okay, you can turn your volume back up now. The evil, loud, high-piercing sound is gone. For those of you whose ears are still ringing, that's for not reading the description box and not remembering what I said to do in the last video. But that was really just a test to see who was remembering and who was paying attention. I mean, yeah, I don't do it all the time either, but, you know, it happens way too often. Heck, sometimes I might not even tell you. You'll just have to read the description box. I can be mean sometimes. It's only to see who's really paying attention. Just gonna be flying over those squirms? Yes, that's what they're actually called. I went to go beat Megaman 2 so I could find out some names. Those things are actually called squirms. SC worm. Yep, SCWORM. So I guess they're called squirm. Didn't say what his name is, but a lot of people just call him Sniper Joe. Or they call him that when he's in his big mech, I don't know. Very important, very, very important to get any kind of energy weapon recharge. Because when you're in Dr. Wily's castle, these do not refill. Unlike when you're going up against the Robot Master bosses and their stages, the weapons don't recharge. So any little energy weapon refiller is extremely important. Oh, and that guy's called the Springer. Yeah, Springer. Very original. Ugh. Hey, how many of you remember just how frustrating it was or nervous it can be to get that really close jump? Yeah, kind of makes me nervous. Oh, and those guys? I found out what they're called. They're called Telly. Yeah. That floating spinning head thing is named Telly. Go figure. Okay, even though you can beat this guy with 3 different weapons. You can beat him with the metal blades, you can beat him with the quick boomerangs, which is how I always used to beat him, or you can beat him with the regular Mega Buster. Or your regular arm cannon, if that's what you want to call it. I'm going to use the arm cannon because I think it's actually easier and it's a good way to keep, it's a good way that I don't run out of energy with my other weapons. I mean, look how fast he's going down. I mean, he's not that hard. See, he's already dead. Didn't even scratch me. And if he touches you with his head, you're dead. Oh crap, I didn't mean to rhyme. I mean, when he touches you with his head or any of his other body parts, you explode. Boom, you're gone. Epic failure on my part. I've said this before and I'll say it again. This music used to creep me out as a kid, but after hearing it in Mega Man 2 The Power Fighters, I love it. Okay, once again, very important to get a weapon refill. I'm gonna save there's another one down there, so I'm gonna use that one to get for item 2, because I'm gonna need that right away. Oh, and guess what his name is? Yeah, that guy's name? Flyboy. Yeah. It seems like the only ones that were creative were the ones that were in Japanese that I had trouble reading. Like the fake airman guy from the airman stage. I think his name was, Matasaporo! I can't really remember. I did finally find out what that chicken ostrich thing is called. Well, I don't know what exactly it is, but I know what it's called. It's called Cook. Yes, those running birds from Woodman stage are called Cook. And those birds that drop eggs from Airman stage are called Pi Pi. P-I-P-I. And the enemies I just passed were called Shopman. Oh, goody. I also found out what these are called as well. They're called Mole. I hate these Mole. I hate these... Why are they called... Okay, Mole, they dig the ground. I get it, but... It doesn't really... Well... I'm sure anybody else would have called them Driller. Of course, you know, me and my uncreative name department. so I'm not really one to point the finger. I always use item number 3 just to get up here and wait for it. Ooh, no damage. Alright. I don't know why, I just get so impatient that I just shoot those things. I can actually be very patient, but it's just become a habit. That whenever I have to wait around for something in Mega Man, I just shoot it. Maybe it's to help pass the time. Lots of spikes here. There's a nice little energy refiller, but I don't really need it. Now, from what I've seen, you can beat them with either the metal blades or the bubble lead. And it's always best to go with the metal blades, because you don't have to jump into them, you just have to get away from them and shoot in their direction. Plus, you have a lot of metal blades to use, so that's your best weapon of choice. Besides, you need as much of the bubble lead as you can later on. For those of you who've played it, you know what I mean, and I'll explain when we get there. Now, these guys do a lot of damage, but thankfully they can be pretty easy to figure out where they're coming from. I mean, they do follow a set pattern. No matter how many times you play this, they always come out of the exact same spot, in the exact same place. You know, it's not a random. They don't come out randomly. They always come out in the exact same spot. So that's good. That's good to know. Very good to know. Okay, this is kind of tricky, but thing is, you don't want to get the. Well, I already have 4 energy tanks, and I can't get any more. And I didn't need that one because if I got that weapon refiller, I'd have to waste crash bombs to get it, and it just seemed pointless. You know, I'd have to waste bombs just to get it. Then I'd have to use the weapon refiller to get crash bombs. So it just seemed pointless. Maybe if you had to get the energy tank, maybe, but did not find out what those are though. So you know, sometimes they don't even pop up. And how many of you had nightmares about doing this? Oh, it's a bit. Maybe that's a bit extreme because I never had nightmares, but it always made me very nervous to do that part. Oh, but if you just stay in the one spot and just keep falling and you don't even press anything, you're fine. You just have to know where to fall. Oh, I love doing this. If you can get it, if you can time it just right, you'll never take damage from them. See, look at that. All the shot men, dead. Didn't hit me once. Yes. Oh my gosh. It's a giant enemy version. It's a giant tank version of an enemy from Mega Man 1. Anything as long as I don't say the meme. I don't want to say memes. It's not like they're funny. They're funny. They're just everybody says that and it becomes so unoriginal. I mean, I want to say it, but then, you know, in a few years later, it becomes completely irrelevant. And you just look back on it and you think, oh, what was I thinking? So I'm trying as hard as I can not to say any memes. Very hard not to. You know, you want to, but it's just so obvious. Oh, good. I don't have to worry about my weapons that much. Most of them are already filled up, and I really don't need item number 3 that much except for the boss in this stage. Which I'm positive a lot of you already know about the boss in this stage. Oh, and if you didn't know, that guy was called Metal. M-E-T-A-L-L. Metal. That's how you want to say it, I don't know. I'm horrible with pronunciation. I used to be really good. I don't know what's wrong with me. Oh yeah, nice little trick here. You can use the bubble lid to find out where the broken up blocks are. You can find out where the fake floor is. And I was actually doing a practice run, and I didn't use it, and I kind of overestimated where the fake block was down there, and I died. And I did it all over again. Oh, and there's also, yeah, as you would expect, there's some fake blocks down there, so bubble lead would help you find them, and then you could just use item 3 to get over them. But I don't need the energy tank, so we'll just skip it. Okay, you can either attack these guys one of 2 ways. You can either use the leaf shield or the metal blades. Or you can just jump over them and completely ignore them. But you can't do that later on. Or you can't do that for the next one. You can only do it for that one. Yeah, this part not so difficult. You just have to wait for it, and wait for it, and go. It's kind of funny, but I don't think this is that challenging. It's the boss that people are afraid of, and I can't really blame them for that. I mean, this is the boss where if you mess up once, just start the game over. It's really a pain to mess up at this boss. You need every crash bomb you can get, and it's very, and you need item 1 or item 3. You absolutely need them for this boss. Oh, and did I mention that you absolutely need the crash bombs? Oh, that brings up an interesting point. Crash. In Mega Man 2 for the NES, he is called Crash Man, but in the Game Boy version, he's called Clash Man with an L, not an R. Yeah, I know that the Japanese don't have a pronunciation for the L word, or not the L word, blah, for the L letter, so they usually replace L with R. But it's kind of confusing when you have the same enemy with 2 different names. Weird. Did anybody else not catch that when they were programming these games? I do hate this part. Yeah, let me know if somebody can actually get through it without getting hit. Somebody did send me another video earlier about a Quickman no damage run, and yeah, you see how long it took him to do that? That's why I'm not doing it, because I don't have that much time to try and practice and get perfect runs for these games. I can't do it. I don't have the patience for that either. I mean, I do have the patience, but I don't have the time to do it. Otherwise, I'd never get another video done. Now, I actually learned this trick from watching another video a couple of years ago, but if you can get it in that right spot, it takes away both the shooter and the wall. Which is very helpful, because now you save an extra crash bomb, so now it's kind of okay to mess up. Not really, but if you mess up, it's okay. You don't have to worry that much. And as I mentioned in the first video, I actually was able to pull off some kind of glitch where coming back from the menu screen and he pops up, the shooters, the little pink balls that they shoot at you, went right through them. Now, if you can master that, then you don't have to worry about this boss at all, at least in terms of taking hits. But you still have to have the same amount of crash bombs to take out everything. Almost done here. Just one more hit, and we're finished. Yeah, I know. I still have 2 more parts to do, but I don't have enough time for them, so we'll save that for the next part. Be very quiet. I'm hunting Wily. Couldn't resist.